Holy crap, we're live like Johnny Five. It's Bodega Brothers.
Yeah.
Back for more mayhem and mischief, man. Sorry,
What
it's
it do?
been a minute. You know, we had to take it was the holidays. You had to take a little bit of time off, a little bit of traveling. You know, took time to pick up some COVID along the way.
Some COVID.
Yeah,
COVID
man.
Backpacking.
Yeah, it kind of kicked my ass this time around. I had it last year for like, a few days, and I was like, God, this ain't nothing. It's like a cold. But this time it came through swinging.
Yeah, you sound like you smoked 8 Black and Milds.
Yeah, my chest still ain't back to 1,000%, but it says, I'm testing clear, so it's all good. I'm still a little weak, lost a little bit of weight, which I couldn't afford to do, but made it happen, and I'm back here in the land of the living. Thank the Lord.
With all that being said, thank the Lord, but also don't come knock on my door because I'm not opening it, you leper.
Hey, man, I'm all tested clear. I'm good. It's not in my system.
I don't trust Fauci.
I'm
just joking. He's gone.
I don't think we can trust really anybody at this point.
I know,
because, nothing adds up. You know what I mean? Like, and the crazy thing is, and I never wish death on anybody. I was reading the other day how Diamond from Diamond and Silk, and they were really big anti-vax people. Like, the COVID thing is all fake and Fauci's a lie.
Right.
Died of COVID. Go figure.
Did she?
She did.
I did not know this.
I didn't know this. I knew she died, but I didn't know she died from COVID complications.
At least that's what the narrative was initially. The internet will try to forge a narrative that may or may not be real in the field. However, the irony of it all, even when what was the black guy, the guy from Godfather's Pizza, who was like a Trump guy.
Yeah, he ran for president as well. Yeah, he was at a fundraiser, he fell ill and passed.
Yeah, he went to a rally and got COVID and died. Like, it's still outside.
Yeah, it's real. It's a very real thing. I don't know about the shot per se. I'm not gonna get into all that because I don't want us to get demonetized or anything. But
that is true. Yeah, I mean, all we know, mask up, be careful, don't be careful. It's your body, it's your
Stay
choice.
6 feet apart and don't be around the same person sneezing for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is screw your freedom of speech unless it follows the government narrative. Hello, socialism. Gotta love it. But, all back and kicking, man. Oh, hopefully everybody else is feeling well, man. That's a good thing to be able to see all the fellas during the holidays kicking it. Big shout out to Earth is Weird as F podcast that we were featured on. It was good times.
Bro, Los and Barry, man. Shout out to Barry because at the time, Barry had COVID. So Los had to interview us all by himself, man. Shout out to Barry. I still haven't
did a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal job.
Barry, you've made no mistakes that night. None. You were on point. Your questions were almost non-existent, and they were great.
Sometimes that helps, you know what I'm saying, man? But Crack, I like that tracksuit top you got there rocking, man. 456 joint.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? In honor of Squid Games, because I feel like I survive a lot of random scenarios, and this is the same jacket that the guy that won Squid Games won. So, hopefully in the game of 2023 life, I continue to
winning.
Survive on the island, man. It's because it's just a lot, man. In addition to COVID things, right? You have the balance of trying to maintain a livelihood to provide for your family, and then crime is running wild out here in these streets as well too. And then just imagine trying to continue to train like an athlete well after you should have stopped doing that shit,
man.
Well, I think as you get older, man, as long as you continue with your weight training and stuff, you won't get all brittle and fall apart when the wind blows, man. So stay at it.
Fuck what you're talking about, man. I'm doing some skateboarding.
Yeah, you're cut from a different cloth though, Crack. You come from a breed of warriors.
Well, thank you.
So you have that fighter blood flowing through that stream of yours, and I think you'll be fine.
I mean, so do you with your Irishness. You know what I mean?
I think I have Vikings too.
We're all cut from a certain cloth.
I'm a mutt. I'm a mutt of pale nature.
Of Aryan dominance.
You can say that. I can't. I am pretty dominant, but I don't know about the Aryan part,
But speaking of dominance, man, I gotta send a major shout out to everybody that went to the movie theaters and made sure Avatar wasn't number one for very long.
Movie sucked.
Yeah. You saw it?
You didn't like it?
I didn't see any of it. I just say it sucked because
because
I'm a hater.
Off top.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, yeah. Just he's coming from the couch with spite.
Yeah, I'm coming from
I like it.
The other side of things. Hey, man, that sucks. But that's how the internet is. They say shit and they don't even know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yo, fuck up crumb cakes. Have you ever had one? No, but just fuck them.
Fuck them. Just fuck them. They suck. I hate life.
No, I mean, the crazy thing is, like, you know, they spent all this time making this movie that's like 3 hours long. And by all accounts of everybody I know that have seen Avatar said it is amazing. I'm talking about Avatar 2. And I saw Avatar 1, wasn't impressed. Right. So you did see Avatar 2.
I saw Avatar 2. If I may slip into my Mexican in a movie, shout out to my other homie Los, the other Los that does Mexican in a movie with me.
It must be short for Carlos.
Something like that. So I don't want to be stereotypical, but yeah. Orale way, what's happening, man? Big shout out to him and Billy. But yo, yeah, no, I thought it was okay. There was I know there was a lot of time spent on them showing them chilling and trying to build character and whatnot. Zoe, what's her name? Zoe Zeldanas.
Zoe Zeldanas. Yeah.
She annoys the hell out of me. I gotta just put it out there. And this character shooting, because it's the same. She keeps the same pitch the whole time. My people. I'm just, oh my God. It's always stressed. It's just every time she comes out and it's the same character. It's the same thing. It's just dramatic. And even acting through a avatar per se, like legitimately, that part was annoying. The story was cool. And if you have kids, it'll kind of pull at your heartstrings a little bit. And I'll put it to you like this. It wasn't like amazing and everything, but for that 3+ hours, it did kind of keep me engaged, minus a few lulls, but those lulls weren't very long. And just to give it the kid test, my 3 and 5-year-old saw it with us and sat there for the whole thing. Then when it was over, wanted to see it again. So if that gives you a little, I was really surprised by that. I would, if I'm giving it the bean rating, non-racial, big shout out to rest in peace, man, G Spook, who came up with the rating. But if beans 5 being the best, I give it about a 3. You know what I mean? It's not, it's visually stunning. It's visually stunning though.
So did you see the full blown version, like the?
Yeah, I just didn't see the 3D. I just saw the big wrap around,
IMAX joint or whatever.
There you go.
You saw it like Easy E.
There you go. It's so I was about to make
the full blown
reference.
Yeah,
the full blown,
not the magic, but the easy.
There you go. But yo, it was the way it's shot is definitely different. It's sometimes your eye when you're watching it has to catch up with it a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's very, without watching it in 3D, it seemed kind of 3D, and it was almost like if you're watching Spanish TV, it looks so clear like that. It's like you're watching novella.
Was there a lot of people with fat asses like Spanish TV?
Unfortunately, no. There was no people. It was just all aliens.
Well, you said Zoe's in it, so there was no fat ass. Excuse me.
No,
I mean,
no.
But like animated Zoe at that too, like so.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, watch when you guys see it, if you guys see it, or even see people. Tell me what you think about like her acting it or her. It's the same, just complaining and struggling. It's like, yo, can't you catch a spirit of the face or something, yo, man? Get her out of here. But everything else was cool, man. 3 beans out of 5.
Okay. Bad, I took the kids to see something that they wanted to see because I couldn't talk them into seeing that shit, right? So so my 2 middle kids, they wanted to see Megan.
Oh, wow. You took your kids to see Megan?
Yeah, my kids are tough.
Oh, wow.
My kids are tough as fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
They are.
They're different. They thoroughly enjoyed it. And the crazy thing is, Megan is a phenomenal film for what it is.
Really? Because I keep
give me a recap on it. Yeah, give me a recap. I'm not familiar with it.
Are we allowed to do spoilers? Should we do spoilers?
I mean, I'm not going to spoil the movie, but pretty much if you took the movie Chucky and put it in a blender, well, Child's Play to be specific, because there's a movie called Chucky. Right. If you took Child's Play and put it in a blender with Serial Mom.
Word.
Ex Machina, you get Megan.
That's an ill combination.
Serial Mom is with Daggone it. Kathleen Turner. Kathleen Turner. She was like just a PTA mom, and she was just killing people for wearing white on after Labor Day. Like, it was just wild.
How do I not remember that movie?
Peep it though. If you can't peep it,
I know I've seen it. It's got Kathleen Turner in it, but like, yo,
and it was before her voice got bassy, like Tone Loc's. You know what I mean? It was like right before, like, voice was about to switch.
I'm going to look for Serial Mom tonight after we record this podcast.
Yeah.
No, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. I used to rent that movie like twice a year because it was just one of those joints where you would just want to watch it more than once.
Right. So when you say Ex Machina and Child's Play, right? So I've seen those, of course.
All right, so Chucky was like an animal, was a doll, an animated doll that came to life. And Ex Machina, the guy made the robot that like became sentient and started doing too much. And then Serial Mom. So like when you combine all those together, if anybody's seen those three, it makes total sense. And the dope thing about Megan is the movie is aware of how silly it is. And it just runs with it.
Okay, so it's like white chicks. It's like white chicks.
And I never seen White Chicks. Never seen it.
What? It knows how silly it is. It just runs with it.
It's something about movies with...
You've never seen White Chicks? Hold on.
I don't like movies when men dress up as women. I just don't.
Yeah, but White Chicks is classic, bro.
You liked it, Trav? I'm surprised you liked White. I didn't. I was like, yo, man, this falls flat like a mug. All these people look like they're burn victims. They're not believable.
That's what I liked. That's what I meant. That's what made me think when Crack said it's like when they know how stupid it is and they play off of it. I immediately thought of White Chicks because they did that shit on purpose. They wanted it to look corny, stupid. But it was still funny because they're funny dudes. Like they're all
they are funny dudes.
Well, with that particular caveat, then sure. You know what I mean? But I didn't see White Chicks. I never seen Tu Wong Fu. I didn't watch Tootsie. I know what it's about, but it's
just like, Tootsie, bro.
I didn't watch Tootsie because I didn't want to see Blade dressed like a woman.
No, that was Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, no, what was the one with Blade where he had to dress like a woman?
Tu Wong Fu.
That was Tu Wong Fu.
Yeah, that's the one I meant.
And the messed up thing, it was like 3 people who I respected wearing dresses. And 2 of their careers excelled and one just got cancer.
Yeah, and so that when you say that, Crack, 2 excelled, 1 got canceled. Who got canceled?
I said canceled, doesn't cancer. Yeah.
They got canceled on the galactic scale.
Yeah, but who blew up? Because it kind of like
did shit that Wesley Snipes messed around, became Blade. Then I think he was in The Fan with Robert De Niro.
Because he went downhill after that. So it kind of negates the whole...
He went downhill after he stopped paying
taxes.
Do I
have my timing messed up? Do I have my timing of Snipes releases messed up?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to digress. Okay, keep going.
But yeah, I mean, like he was in some joints, and John Leguizamo is still the man. Like he was in 2 movies that came out like in December that were pretty. They didn't make big a gang of money, but they were well received. Like Violent Night, which is an amazing Christmas film.
I haven't seen that yet.
I want to see it.
Die Hard and Home Alone in a blender is Violent Night, and then there was this other movie called The Menu, which crazy enough came out.
That's the cannibal movie, right?
No, that's Bones and All.
Oh! With the chef, they all went to the island, and the chef's cooking, but he's cooking like people.
No, he's not cooking people.
So that's what I got from the preview. The preview made it look like he was killing them and like serving them up.
Nah. It was just like one of those movies where like everybody got the invitation to come to this restaurant for a reason,
like a whodunit.
And the reason is y'all all did something messed up, and this is why y'all are all here. And it kind of unfolds as the night progresses. It was pretty dope. But the crazy thing is, it was also on HBO the other night. And I'm like, yo, this shit was in theaters 3 weeks ago.
Wait, it's already on HBO Max?
They are fast tracking. Not even HBO Max. I mean, it probably is, but it was on actual cable.
They're doing that with a lot of movies, man. What's that movie that came out also over the holidays I wanted to see because I love history, man? It's about the first black pilot that fought in the Korean War.
Devotion.
Man from Dallas.
Yeah, Devotion.
Yeah. That's already out on cable, too, on Paramount.
Wait, Jonathan Majors is from Dallas?
Yo, man, matter of fact, spoke at his school, met him when he was a kid. Yeah, man. I forget what school it was. It's one of the it's one of the magnet art school, man. There's pictures of him. I was like, oh, I remember talking to that kid about like radio, TV, and all that good stuff, man. So yeah, he grew up and became muscular.
Yeah,
and,
nice
got his acting on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And he's gonna probably beat up Adonis Creed in Creed 3. Like, dude, you must have gave him a good talking to.
Well, with Creed 3, how do you feel about Sylvester Stallone not being, involved in that? From what I understand,
he kind of played his part and moved on, right?
Well, even being involved in it because that's his baby, man. That whole thing is his baby.
When something's your baby, at some point you gotta let it roll, man. I think he did everything he could. Like, what else can he do? Because then it just becomes like played out. When people go watch it, they're gonna start talking like. Crack, tell me if I'm wrong, Key. Y'all fill me in. But I feel like if he was in this one, people would be like, the critics would all say, oh, he should have hung it up. He should have figured out a way to get out. Even though when you watch Tulsa King, dude it's so incredible.
Stallone will forever be that guy. But I think you're right to a degree, Travis. I think, this is finally the Creed movie where Creed can stand on his own. and not have to rely on the Rocky factor to put asses in the seats. And I think also too, on a business side of things, and I think this happens with a lot of people in business, like Stallone still gets screwed on the Rocky deal. Like I saw a post a couple months ago where he was like still beefing with the people who own the rights over all the Rocky. Like, yo, man, just give me my baby back. Like, yo, it's mine. And that's crazy because you see the parallels with that in film, also with the parallels in music too, how like De La Soul was fighting for all these years to get get a fair royalty share and a fair rights situation going with Tommy Boy.
So they get streaming.
And it's finally going to be coming, I think 333 or 3323 is when it's going to start streaming. But it's just wild that these people will hold something that they know for a fact isn't theirs. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you've made your money. You're like 90,000 years old. Just let the man have his shit.
Yeah, let him have his stuff. Now, when it comes to Creed, who's playing Creed? My mind.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
There you go. How do y'all feel? And every time, and I brought this up on Two Mexicans in a Movie, and people say, "Oh, you just hating that man." Fine, and that's fine if he's attractive. That's great. I don't have skin in that game, but his acting to me, it's not great. And I've seen so many people who are muscular and handsome who can do a better job, in my opinion. Now, his act, I don't believe him sometimes. And sometimes when he has to do certain types of attitudes and accents, it's just not believable to me. I don't know what it is. I know I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one.
So let me say this. I feel you. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done.
No, it's good. All right, no, go ahead.
So I want to say something about that because you and Crack are like movie, like you guys can go on Jeopardy and answer any movie question of all time, any genre even TV shows, shit. Me, I watch movies from like a fan point of view and just sitting back. So here's my point. I watch movies how sometimes people listen to music, movies are my entertainment. I listen to music more constructive, right?
Gotcha.
When I go to a movie, I'm going to just escape, right?
Gotcha.
So let me say this. As far as Michael B. Jordan goes, in the first Creed, it was great. Like I thought he did really good. In Black Panther, I thought he killed it. But this is me though. This is my opinion. As an average person who goes to a movie not looking for Academy Award type shit, I don't know the difference between an Academy Award and a fucking, I don't
Golden Globes.
Yeah, Golden Globe. Yeah. Like I know the difference, but I don't care. When I go to a movie, I'm going just to chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
right.
I went to go see Creed for nostalgia purposes. Like that's it. Like coming up as a kid in the 90s, in the 80s, that's why I went to see the following of, Adonis's kid. You know what I mean? So like
word.
It was great to me. I saw no flaw. Black Panther, I saw no flaw. I actually thought it was amazing what he did in Black Panther. Like incredible.
Yo, he did such a good job in Black Panther, making you want to. I was fucking rooting for him. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, he was the hero. Like,
me too.
Like
anti-hero.
The child of dad killed your pops. You have every reason to ride on these fools.
Get your shit, man.
Yeah. And then also too, like, I was following him. I didn't even peep that he was on The Wire till like way after when somebody mentioned it. But Fruitvale Station is what really won me over on Michael B. Jordan. The way he was able to humanize the life and times of Oscar Grant, I was blown away by that. And then also Chronicle was another movie that
was the Amazon one? No,
Chronicle was a movie where this guy who used to be in shit, I ain't seen him in much in a while, but it was him and like 4 homeboys. They went and found some meteor or some shit that crashed and they got powers.
Oh, yes. That was dope. Yes. Yeah, no, that was dope. I liked him.
He was dope. He was dope in that.
But what was the Amazon one? That was the one where I thought the acting was kind of That's the only one. I thought it was
like an action joint.
Yeah, it was like made for TV type shit.
Yeah,
that's where I feel key.
I don't even know if I got through. I feel like I started watching. I don't know if I finished it.
He was like a soldier who they like put a chip in, or he became like virtual. I can't really remember because I was like, yo, this is bad.
But I respect like the way Key like surgically will watches films surgically because like people sometimes have to do that, and I do understand the narrative of like sometimes you just like to remove your skull and just sit it on the side of the table and just watch some shit. And I think that I was there with you, Trav, like on that Creed shit. Like I didn't care if these people could act or not. It's a boxing movie about boxing. Let's pull up. But
I feel you.
but you know when you see bad acting and you know you see great acting.
Jurassic World, the
now
new one, Dominion. That was
keeping it on Jonathan Majors for a second. When I saw, and he's been dope in everything I've seen him in, but when I saw him on Loki, and his monologue as Kang, and just the way you saw the character, you just saw so many ill personality traits being emoted there. Mind. And as a person who has gone to acting classes and stuff like that, and is still trying to figure this acting thing out, the choices he took and the decisions he made for that character was just mind blowing. So it is just so dope to see. I don't know, cats bringing something new to the game. And then also with Michael B. Jordan, he's this is the first joint he's ever directed. So
he directed that?
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't even know.
So I hope Creed 3 really pops off, for him, just the way Megan popped off for everybody who was involved with that. It was written by a black screenwriter who also wrote Malignant, and James Wan produced it. So it's dope to see so many people of color operating in Hollywood, getting to it. And, and playing the game their own way and telling just uniquely different stories that we haven't seen before.
And real quick, now we're on movies and things of that nature. And I don't even mean to bring this up because I'm wearing a Marvel hoodie, but do y'all feel like the Marvel universe is dying? For the past couple of nights, or when I was sick, I started doing a deep dive in a lot of different documentaries about Marvel and how the numbers are dwindling, how She-Hulk is failing because they're trying to be a little bit too PC, a little bit too politically correct, a little too woke. In other words, how do y'all feel about that? Because I kind of feel like that too. It's dang, y'all had that number, y'all were slaying, y'all were kicking ass. Now all of a sudden y'all trying to do stuff with the message, which can be cool if done right, but it seems like they're criticizing the audience at the same time. They got Megan Thee Stallion in there twerking with She-Hulk and all that mess, and she's the powerful woman who's a lawyer, and she's also fighting crime, and she's sexual, and she get twerking, you better not say anything. And it's yo, man, big eye roll, man. Get the nuts, yo. You suck. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the crazy thing, it's been a roller coaster ride because I didn't love Eternals. I didn't love it enough to want to see it twice, right? And
to me, that's when it started. To me, that's when it started doing down.
Yeah.
When Disney took over?
No, Disney gave it the power to pop off because don't get it twisted. Endgame was during the Disney era.
That was the first, right? Okay. Was that the first?
Infinity War was during. I don't know exactly when it took over, but when Endgame came out, it was Disney.
But there was none of that in there, though, is what I'm saying. If it was not noticeable. By that, I mean, see, this is where you can't say.
Let me do my. I'm just gonna shut up. I don't want to be here throwing out whack facts. Like to come through with the Snapple facts. What year?
Yeah, you have to Google that, man.
Disney.
And here's the thing, how dare you bring up this kind of a topic?
No, this is.
I'm sorry, man.
It's 2009. Yeah, 2009. So Disney took over Marvel when it got good. So okay. I definitely don't see the negative.
Yeah, but no. Here's the thing, though. Did that particular CEO take over by then? No, you feel me?
Because they got rid of the guy recently. They got
exactly. That's what I'm saying, and that's when she started doing. But I can't.
No, but Kevin Feige's been running Marvel the whole time. Anytime there's been the whole MCU. That has been overseen by Kevin Feige the entire time. And I think when you pump out, and I don't know how many movies exist. Let's see how many Marvel.
Some of them are gonna be shit. I get where you're going.
You're talking about numbers to quality ratio.
Yeah,
is what you're talking.
Even in sports, if you take 10 games, your number one athlete is gonna have some bad games in that 10 games.
At the time that we're doing this,
unless his name is Luca, then he's always going to have a good game.
At the time that we're doing this, there are 30 Marvel Cinematic Universe films. 30.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't realize there was that many.
He also does the Disney Plus shows, right? For Star Wars?
Yeah. If it's Marvel, Kevin Feige is involved in some way, size, shape, or
Star Wars.
Or was.
That is, I don't know who's over the Star Wars.
He's also a chef. He does cooking and shit.
Oh, you put me onto something.
And to me, when it comes to the whole Star Wars universe, they I knew they would. I was grew up a Star Wars head, but to a certain point, it got to be a little too convoluted, and I knew it was gonna because Disney's gonna do you overdo it. In my opinion, it didn't become as special. It's too accessible, in my opinion. You know, could just be an old dude, but it seems like it's just a little bit too much. It's like a little bit too much. It's like I'm not even so interested in all these offshoots. I used to get hyped anything Star Wars. Now it's like, oh, another thing. I don't. Who is this? What is this? And this
I liken it
you know
to when like Ghostface started putting out a lot of albums out. Like damn, I love Ghostface, but shit, I can't keep up. It's Fish Scale, now there's more Fish Scale. Who's this Theodore unit you speak of? You know, it was a lot to keep up, and you're a fan. You know what I mean? Like, and you want to keep up. Right. But like, you know, and to even go back to the Star Wars thing for a second is like, yo, I was right there with you because like everybody keeps telling me Andor is incredible, and I can't get past the first episode.
I can't get past the third.
Not because I think it's trash. It's just I keep trying to watch it at a trash time of day for me to try to absorb any content, right? And and I would live, breathe, sleep shit for anything Star Wars at one point in time. But like, and then when you find out, oh damn, those little 15-minute cartoons were canon too. I gotta watch this shit because that like tied into what happened in the Book of Boba Fett episode 7. So all that. So it's like, whoa, who has the time to go back and absorb it all when it gets so vast? But the crazy thing, I remember just wishing and praying they would make a 4th Star Wars, you know, and then then now you got it, you know, and then some. I mean, because even for all the things that people like kind of like scoff at, damn, how great was the Obi-Wan series?
Yeah, Obi-Wan was good. I watched pieces of it now. For whatever reason, a lot of hardcore nerds, you know, the dudes who live in their basement and whatnot, were not feeling it. I'm not sure why. But yo, from the little bit I saw of it, I really dug it. You know,
oh, if you didn't finish the whole thing, you're in for a treat. No. Like, yeah, you gotta
which show?
Obi-Wan.
Oh, that was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, like you're gonna like be swinging at the TV, like out of excitement.
Okay, word.
Like, yeah, like yo, like some of those fights are so good. I felt like it was happening to me.
But you know, speaking of which, you know who was in that? In the Mandalorian, it was doing a lot of the fights. It was big shout out to the Inosanto family, Dan Inosanto from the Bruce Lee line. His daughter's in that, and she's a bad mother effer, man. So she was putting it down in there. It's crazy to see Bill Burr running around too in Mandalorian. You know what I'm saying? Because he was such a Star Wars sci-fi hater that he ends up being in the show.
No, it's so dope because it's like it's just Bill Burr in space. Like he didn't change his accent. Yeah. It's like yo, like how a dude from Boston end up on Tatooine?
That'd be such a dope concept for a show. Bill Burr in space, and he just goes in. He just dials on his
concept. You know the problem with these huts are the fucking huts. They build like pizza. I hate them. You know, it's like,
that dude. Even when I don't agree with that dude, he makes me agree with him. It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because he's so passionate
and genuine.
Indeed. But I know we're quantum leaping all over the place, but yeah, Marvel, like it's a lot to digest. It's a lot to keep up with. There's movies, there's shows. Is there some fatigue? Yes, I think with all things, when you constantly get fed the thing that you wanted, it's easy to have like brand fatigue. And then you have something like She-Hulk where it's like it's not like the other shows. Like it's a comedy. It's more of a comedy. I don't think it was bad. I think it was for a different audience.
It's bad.
She-Hulk is for people who didn't like other stuff.
Who like mumble rap.
That's such a strong opinion in the approach to take it. I mean, but it's you're entitled to it. Like, and I watched it for the sake of watching it. There was some cringy ass moments on the show. Like,
that's all it takes.
I hated watching.
I'm done. I'm never watching it again after 3 cringes.
Like the Megan Thee Stallion's twerk scene was hella cringy, but it also fit with the rest of the show. There was a lot of fourth wall breaking. There was a lot of just things that wouldn't happen in a normal Marvel thing.
Commercially correct.
I'm not commercially correct. I just know this shit wasn't 100%.
Listen, you're gonna have to probably interview Megan in like a week. So I understand why you're doing this, but Keynote, it's
I did say it was cringy. Like it's cringy, but I'm not the target demo for fucking She-Hulk.
Hold on now to
I don't care who the target demo is dumb, just like She-Hulk.
Hold on. To Head Crack's credit, and working with Head Crack and interviewing people, and it don't always get aired.
You know, I'm just poking the bear. Stop trying to play the mediator.
I'm just saying, Crack will go for the throat. He'll kick him in the balls, even when I'm a little surprised. I'm like, whoa.
He does. Like,
so we heard you like giving head installs. Is this true? And it's like, whoa, we're talking to a priest. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Nothing was better than when you interviewed Cisco in the hotel room, though.
That was a classic.
That was in person, I think.
Yeah, it was a person, but we was up in
it wasn't in a hotel. Was it?
Yes, it was.
We were
at the Crescent Hotel in
Dallas.
Dallas.
I edited it at a studio. That's what
in
my head.
No, we was up in there.
We was up in there, and his handler came out and was like, "Hey, you can't ask him about this, about the glove and like gay, whatever."
And that's the first thing. And
went
for the throat, but that's what makes
when he came out.
A lot of people want to know, man. Is Cisco gay? And it's like, hey,
straight up out the gate.
Not that it matters,
beautiful, man.
This was 1990 something.
Yeah, it was
2000.
Hey, anyway, Craig, don't ever forget what this gesture means. Whenever I do that to you, it's.
He's trying to reel you in.
He's trying to reel me in.
I can
take it. No doubt. But yeah, I mean, hey, you're clearly not the target demographic for She-Hulk. You probably hated Miss Marvel too.
No, I loved that. I actually loved Miss Marvel.
And
my daughter and we watched that. It was the most. It was some of the. It's just amazing. Like great memories watching her. Her eyes get big and like it did something to me. And I was like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? So
when I interviewed that young lady, I knew motherfuckers was gonna hate, and I was like, hey man, no matter what these people say on the internet, pay them no mind, because they have no business. And you continue to be great, and you just ignore them. You know what I mean? Because I knew the hate was gonna come because people hate women. Oddly enough, enough, a lot of men hate women. Even when you go to wrestling matches and shit, motherfuckers go and get popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Like, and do everything when the women come out, and and anytime the women get a lead, and sometimes it is like forced down our throat, like that one girl power scene in that one in Endgame. Like it was just so forced. And cliche.
That was cringy.
Like
that was.
It's
corny.
like come on. It's almost like also too like when Jessica Alba posed that she got her powers in Fantastic Four. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, everybody wants to have somebody that they can identify with and feels like they represent for them. And sometimes you just have to be ready to receive that or just be like, you know what? This ain't for me. Even the new trend where all the kids listen to the regular music fast and shit.
Yeah.
Just annoying. Because I hate chipmunk sounds. But,
maybe I've missed the trend finally.
Awesome. Because I spoke of it, you're going to hear it in 2 days.
Oh, don't tell me.
That's how it works.
Oh,
that's how it works.
It's like the ring tape.
So wait a minute. So they're totally disrespecting DJ Screw is what you're saying?
That's not disrespecting DJ Screws. They just listen to shit faster because they don't have
time.
Yeah,
but there's no point. If listening to shit fast is stupid. Listening to shit slow is dope.
I used to think listening to shit slow was dumb. I was like, "What? You're not fast enough to comprehend what the fuck going on?" But
that's because you were from New York.
You evolve and you realize it's a steez, and it's like, oh, okay, I get it.
But I kind of being born and raised in the South, man, I had to side with crack. I thought it was real dumb too. But then when I started hearing a few things, I was like, okay, I get why you might like it a little bit. I started to get it. It took me a minute. But man,
he had to drink a purple cup before he got it.
Yeah, it had to be loaded or something, but I got why. I was like, okay, I get it why. It's not for me, but I get why. And also I compete. And those cats was kind of rapping then. You know what I mean?
They were rapping for real.
They was rapping.
It was going in.
Them Houston boys was putting it. Yeah, them Houston boys.
Still a lot of I'ma come down. You know what I'm saying? Stuff we still hear today. But
but their I'ma come down was Chicago and New York and like our like hip hop circles. Yo, check it out. Check it out. That was their I'ma come down. So whenever they would be like, yo, we would do that, and what they would do, yo, I'ma come. That was like their buffer in between.
I'ma come through.
A transitional phrase.
Yeah, that was their transitional free. Yeah, like the East Coast had their transitional free, and then
yo, check it out.
Yeah, yo, Pete, check this out. Yo, God, blah blah blah.
I think it stood out more because it was slowed down. I'ma come down. Da, 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 da. It was like, and the crazy thing is like the older I got, the more I was able to appreciate school. Same. I was listening to Sirius XM this weekend. No, yeah, it was Sirius XM, but it was like the Drake station that they have. That's like before Rock the Bells. Yeah, it's like Club Owl or some shit. I can't remember.
So it's a bunch of people that don't write their own shit.
It's like some OVO mix shit, some shit you ain't gonna never hear before.
Stuff for girls.
And
it's
then
stuff for girls.
Dope, no, not always. It was some dope cloud rap shit that I ain't never heard before. It was a vibe.
Okay.
But the other day it was like OG Ron C. Shout to him.
Ooh,
he was like, he was doing a he didn't call it chopped and screwed. I forgot what the terminology he used was.
And blowed.
But it wasn't like slowed all the way down like screw, but it was just like, dialed back a bit. And it was like, okay.
Gotcha.
And under the influence, which I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely could see how like this would be a vibe for many. I could dig it.
Yeah, but speaking of that whole genre right there, big shout out to Little Flip. He just dropped something a couple weeks ago, and it was like on some gospel praising God stuff, man. Big shout out to that dude. Yeah, man, he's on some spiritual stuff right now. Yeah, the Leprechaun, man. Big shout out to Little Flip, one of the dudes who supported us back. We supported him back in the day, man. Big shout out to that dude.
He was always
cool but if you get man. Really cool dude, and he could actually rhyme. He's one of those few guys who would get on there and freestyle with us off top, and we'd be going in on on radio and whatnot. He'd get right up there and get with us. A lot of people don't realize how nice he was and how nice he is when he's just really going in on the mic on some MC stuff. He can get down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was just a casualty of just a weird little pocket, like circumstantial things that happened back to back, like the fallout with him and Hump when Hump threw away a bunch of records of his that like were in the bag that was super duper dope. And then the whole Little Flip thing, man, it was just like, it's crazy because it was like right before, like right after the Flip situation.
Yeah.
You actually got rewarded for losing battles and getting like, like getting chumped out a little bit. You know what I mean? Because like everything that happened to Rick Ross should have finished him in his battle with 50 Cent. But it did. It's like, yo, I got your baby mama on tape sucking dick, like da-da-da-da-da. And Rick Ross came out bigger, better, and just kept hitting him with hits. Like after that.
One thing I'll give Rick Ross is his beat choice is stellar. Like I love his production on a lot of things. Not necessarily always the rhymes, but like the samples he uses in a lot of the beats and the drums he chooses, man. It kind of, it goes in. It's got a lot of soul to it. I like stuff that has soul and content. And he does that, even though, he's not the real Rick Ross, and the real Rick Ross took him to court and all that. And I thought that was kind of, but outside of that, his musical choices, and Rick has always been a really cool dude to us. So, big shout out to him.
You guys
as well.
Want to hear something crazy? You two both know me very, very well. Have you ever heard these words come out of my mouth? I've never heard anything from Rick Ross that I didn't like. He's so dope. Dude, every feature he's been on has been like stellar. Yeah. It's been like, it's so good, man. Like everything that he has featured on is so good. He could be like a guiding light to these dudes that like whoever, not even dudes, but like whoever is in that genre of music. Because he is so good at what he does that you can't even put you can't lock that in a box. You know,
it make a preacher want to sell dope. Like
he's so good.
Really motivation, like whatever the hell he's talking about or whatever he's excited about on the record. I'm excited about it too because of his passion and just the way it sounds coming through the speakers. Not everybody can lock in like that. You know what I mean? It's a gift to be able to tap into whatever sacred frequency that it is within music. To string people along and motivate them to want to do things. Like, I feel like SZA has figured it out. Like what Doja Cat has figured it out. I know we're going from rap to R&B. You said Young Berg?
Her, Her.
Okay, if Her does that for you, absolutely. Her too. Like, I mean, there's just something to be said about like the second you hear people's voices. Even Jay-Z, I feel like was in a certain rhythm for a minute. That
I think he still is. Even when he does his poppy shit that everybody hates, I kind of like it. And I'm like,
the crazy thing for me is like, and I hate to admit it, but like, some of that shit didn't age well. Like it didn't age well. I wanted to listen to some Jay-Z the other day, and for whatever reason, for the first time ever, I couldn't. I didn't know.
Especially coming from you, that's weird.
Yeah, because I was like one of the biggest Jay-Z advocates to this day. Like, I mean, even if Jay-Z drops something new, but I think a lot of times even some of our favorite artists maybe will make music that we have rocked with for a long period of time. And then it just gets to a point in your life where maybe, okay, this is the expiration point. Or even on the flip side of that, in the best way possible, maybe something that you didn't rock with from a long time ago from some of your favorite. Now, all of a sudden you get it. Or it sounds better.
Speaking of Jay-Z, that time because I was not a big Jay-Z fan at all. I liked him when he first came out way back in the day because he could spit fast and
original flavor,
all this skill and all that. But then he sounded like he was, all that. But it seemed like a minute after a minute, like he was just like it got super dumbed down and super slow. And I don't particularly like that style of rhyming. But now listening to it, I like it a lot better. It's just his newer stuff as things age to me became rather pretentious. At least it felt pretentious. I couldn't relate. I could relate to Nas way more than I could to Jay-Z.
Money though, like even
I feel you. No, I know, but even with Nas, he still has a spiritual
he does. No, I get it. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? It has a spiritual MC feel to it. Even I can rely, him talking about writing rhymes in the pissy staircases. I can relate to that. I can't relate to being on the G4. You know what I'm saying?
Like Nas raps like undercover boss.
Yeah, he does.
Like I got riches and shit, but I don't want to tell you because I want you treated different, but I'm gonna give you some game though.
So let me ask you this,
right.
Can you? So you said when you went back, you tried to listen to Jay, you really couldn't, but you could because you still there's no diss there.
There's no diss. It's just for whatever reason.
Can you go back and vibe with the old Nas stuff though? Because I can. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Nas stuff aged well.
I think it aged good.
But I think certain records sometimes you just get to a point in your life where it just doesn't serve you anymore. Certain things don't feed you anymore.
Right.
Like I used to listen to 2 Live Crew. There's a time, space, and place for that.
Yeah, now. You don't go to Freaknik anymore.
Right, you know what I mean? But then one day I was riding around and just I listened to everything else that there was to possibly listen to. And I went back to that 2 Live Crew, As Nasty As They Wanna Be album.
So
it might have been the album before that, and it's just these motherfuckers was so hip hop.
It was. So
they had they nasty records on there, but Brother Marquise and Fresh Kid Ice, they was rapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For what hip hop and MCing was during that time. I mean, they did the sex stuff for the gimmick just to kind of push it forward, but it was just so dope to just be wow, even Too Short on some of his earlier joints, like the Life Is Too Short album.
Sure.
Like,
for sure, his ass off, man.
You forget sometimes. You forget that Sir Mix-a-Lot was an MC. Yeah, people just think about Baby Got Back. They don't think about Swass and Posse on Broadway.
Swass.
Yeah, man. Man, Brimalo. Motherfuckers was in the trenches with it. And it just sucks that sometimes those hits will make you transcend who you were that made you likable to begin with. And then you just get known for that thing, Because as great as Bust the Move is, Young MC had other dope joints on the Rappity Rap shit. Principal's Office, More Rhymes. There was something that they had in Baby Driver that was a song where they was playing when he took one of them cars. And it's just when I interviewed the director, I know there's mad name drops happening this episode. I'm not doing it on purpose. But
that's the name of this episode, Name Drop.
Name drop. But I interviewed the director. I'm bro, the decision that you made to go through Young MC's category and be nah, I don't want to use Bust a Move or whatever the hell. And once again, this is one of them joints where I'm super duper trying to I want to have my facts straight on a normal day that had less.
Which one are you talking about?
The reason why Headcrack is looking down is because he is looking through Google on his cell phone.
I'm pulling up my iTunes, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to tell you the exact name of the song.
Doesn't want to screw it up.
I don't want to play it on this thing and screw up our what do you call it?
You got to play it and put it to the speaker. Put it to your.
No, I will not do that because it'll get dinged.
All right. Well, whoever edits this needs to add it.
No, that's more of a reason. You're trying to give them a clear 4K.
Bro, we got money, bro. We could pay.
No, we don't. I don't even know if I could do another podcast. I'm at the pawn.
I guess the joint is called No How. Yep, No How. No How's the joint. He sampled the Isaac Hayes joint, and out of no one ever brings up that song, and it was just I was rapping his ass off on that song.
Yes, sir.
People should hear that song. So
you know who else falls into that category is Fresh Prince, man.
People say what they want to say.
Dude, his albums, oh my gosh, man.
If you listen to Rock the House, and the second side of He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, that album, I mean, the whole album was good, but he really was
assisting
the DJ.
He was a rapper.
Yeah, he could rhyme, man. He could
Jeff
rhyme.
was a DJ, so
it's the gift and the curse to get that successful.
Y'all forget he battled KRS-One and won, and I got to talk to him about that. Name drop. Got to talk to him about that, and he told me the story about him and Jeff going to battle KRS-One to get some new turntables for Jeff, man. And he won. He battled KRS-One and won back in the Gap. But I think it's before he blew up.
Because he was a rapper. He was a real MC.
Yeah, he was an MC.
He was an MC.
Yeah.
And so were all them dudes you're talking about, man. Young MC. All of them were Too Short. Fresh Prince, they were all actual MC because back then you had to be an MC to even get to that level to where you could go commercial.
That's why I wish more like established artists would put out like demos, like the stuff that got them on. You know, now that your career is like, you know, where it's at, you know what I mean? Like, show people how you got there. Because, you know, people say what they want to say about Nelly. And I used to say a lot of shit about Nelly. Still do.
We didn't just used to say stuff. We went back in time and killed him as a child so he wouldn't come up with music on our TV show.
Yeah, shout out to anybody who like actually recorded that, because that would be great. I want to see that myself too.
I want to see it too.
Yeah, but I mean, but Nelly used to rap, and and I watched the documentary about him. And they was playing some of his stuff. I was like, yo, why did you stop? I mean, I understand why he stopped doing that.
He wanted to make money.
Yeah, he wanted to make money and become like one of the highest selling rap artists of our time.
People
people be jumping him off. Yo, I don't know why they changed the locks on Ludacris. That's wild.
Yeah, Luda was nice, man. Luda is
one of the dopest rappers of all time. I will put Luda in the top 15, 20. Like,
fair enough. Like, he's one of the people
that.
And I can see some people putting him in their top 10, top 5, but not me, because of what I came from Chicago, so it was a little different. Like, most of my top 5 is Chicago.
I never see him mentioned in people's top 5,
which blows my mind. Like,
and
get it.
I mean, but when you talk about top 5, it's just such a heavy wrestled for a spot. And granted, my top 5 won't be your top 5. Your top 5 won't be Keys. Keys won't be the person in the car at the gym listening to this, because everybody's top 5 is their top 5 for a reason. But it's just wild how accurately lyrical he is, and has been this way the whole time.
The whole time.
Okay, granted, there was that album where he's like, I blow up, balloon. Hated that album. Or I hated that style of rap, because I felt like that's when he dumbed it down.
He didn't do it the whole
to a pre-K in my head, and I feel like that was a very because I think that was the Theater of the Mind album.
It was.
Is that when he got a real vaudevillian and he was like, hey, I was like a lot of that. Real quick, he had a couple of joints with DJ Premier on there that was dope though.
Something like I Did It for Hip Hop with Nas and Scarface, I think was on that record.
I think
just
Scarface
saying those
is on that
two
record.
people, like, that should tell you the caliber of MC he is, because those two people wouldn't have fucked with him if he wasn't dope. Like, he is legit
they were
top
label
level
mates.
MC.
They were label mates, so Def Jam.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. You know how many label mates don't fuck with other label mates? Because
but when you read the fine print on a lot of things, like there'd be a lot of collabos that happen because, like, yo, you on Atlantic, she on Atlantic, get on the song. Like, yo, Cardi B can't put an album out, but they made her jump on that Glorilla song.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big tune. I mean, you know, like, say what you want, but it's like, Atlantic.
Quick disclaimer: I apologize for any babies you hear yelling in the background. Only I can hear them. I hope
nobody hears these babies. I don't
hear them.
I don't even think you have any children.
I don't.
It's all in his head.
They're all in my head.
It's like Saint Elsewhere. Like, the whole thing was made up.
Yeah, that right there. What a reference.
Dude, what a reference. That is that reference right there wins the day.
Yeah, actually, it does. That's the best reference of the pod. That is Saint Elsewhere.
Here's the crazy. I never watched that show. But it was the ending was so notoriously frustrating for people.
It was so crazy.
That you knew about it even if you didn't watch the show.
Yeah, I was a little kid, and it always seemed boring to me. Like, I was like, yo, this seems like some boring, what is this grown-up crap? But then when I found out the end of it, that it was all a dream or whatever, I was like, yo, that's ill. I should have watched it.
Yo, there was like 2 or 3 shows that used to come on when I was a kid. When I heard that music, I just knew it was time to go do something else. It was like
MASH,
Fantasy Island,
Hill Street Blues,
absolutely, and Saint Elsewhere. It's like, it's time to go to.
Taxi was a movie. Never mind, it was great.
Nah, like Taxi was good. Reeled me in. Yeah, Taxi reeled me. I rock with everybody, but man, MASH. Yeah, it was time to go to sleep. I couldn't.
It's time to go to sleep. I hated that because when it came on, it was bedtime. I was in trouble if I was still up and MASH was on. And I would, oh my God,
and then God forbid you wake up, you wake up like after MASH, right when it ends, is the American flag blowing with just like a blue screen behind it.
What sucked about MASH, that classic, that song, it's a song about suicide.
Suicide is painless.
Yes, yeah. And then there was no war. I thought, because I'm into history and like shoot 'em ups and stuff. I was so disappointed as a little kid. I decided, well, I'm gonna stay up one time and I'm gonna watch this MASH show that everybody likes. I watched it. I was like, ain't no war in it. None. It's just people flirting and
it was a soap opera.
Yo, I couldn't understand it. It felt like a British comedy in Japanese. I couldn't
but British comedies were dope.
I couldn't understand. No, British comedies are dope, but imagine if a British comedy was in Japanese. You really don't understand what the fuck's going on here.
Don't know what's going on, man.
Like imagine Black Adder like being redone over by Fuji Hakamoto.
It's like sushi and
Nippon
mash.
Yo, speaking like Black Adam, The Rock was in the news because he was like really pushing, he was pissing off like the executives, man. So there's gonna be no more Black Adams. So he was supposed to be fighting Superman and stuff.
Oh no!
But evidently the Rock kept pushing. Pushing the envelope.
Let's go deeper than that. Like there's nobody left. Like anybody that was like played in the DC anything over the last 8 years that you come to know. Cavill, gone. Godot, gone. Affleck, done. Jason Momoa, done as Aquaman. I think he's gonna be Lobo now. Ezra Miller,
but he did that to himself, little fruit booty.
He totally did.
Stop saying that word, fool, because that makes it sound
we can still get away with that.
Can we?
Yeah, fruit booty, man.
It means like he's a diet
screwed up.
Yeah, rich in grapes and stuff.
Oh, okay. So he just eats a lot of fruit. Okay, all right.
Something to that effect. But you know what I'm saying? Not
citrus.
That makes sense.
He's a gross dude. Yeah, he's not a good guy.
All right, continue.
Yeah, so I mean that whole thing is gone. You know what I mean? And like Rock really bully-footed everybody at Warner Brothers and DC. Like, yo, bring Cavill back and And his movie didn't make the kind of money that they expected to make. China's part of the fault for that because China didn't take the movie in because there was somebody who didn't.
Rock sucked. He sucked in that movie. It was like watching.
I mean, I don't know if he was expecting
twin.
I mean, no, I feel like Black Adam was a perfect character for him because like Black Adam is
a
very
character, but he can't act. Like all of his shit, his same emotion the whole time. It was like.
I mean, I don't think that stopped it from being a good movie. I just think that like you have like a C tier character that not everybody is just super duper excited about.
But isn't it Shazam? Aren't they the same person?
No, they're not. No, see, Black Adam is like the counter Shazam. He's like the
Shazam was dope.
But why do they have to say Shazam in order to get him to come to life?
Because they all get their power from the gods and
from the same wizards.
Yeah, that's their Mecha-Hiney-Ho.
Lightning bolt was the same thing. It was like
because they got their power from the same gods.
Shazam got their power from the same god as Black Adam.
Yeah,
but they also had the same powers,
but not the same gods that like Brand Nubian builds.
Not the 5%ers, yo. Yeah, not build and destroy.
Different gods.
Yeah, okay, but there's supposed to be a new Shazam coming out. Shazam's still coming out.
DC always seemed like a Canadian version of Marvel.
Yeah, the crazy thing is,
and I'm not dissing Canada, but you know, like, you go to Canada, you feel like you're in America, but you're not.
Oh no, definitely watching Black Adam, I was like, okay, that's your Doctor Strange, and there is your
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, and there's your Ant-Man, but he's Atom Smasher. I get it. Okay, great.
Yeah, Adam, like, what's the like? Is it just about who came first, like the chicken or the egg? Like, what is it like?
Who can weave a better tale? You know,
but nobody's better than Stan. Nobody.
I mean, yo, Stan Lee's one of the greatest writers of all time.
Nobody's better than Stan. Okay, think about people named Stan. Nobody's better than Stan Smith, Stan Lee, Stanley Kubrick. You keep going. Just the fucking. If I would have been named Stan, we'd all be billionaires right now because I would hook you guys up. Like Stan is just a name. Like even Eminem did a song, Stan. You know, it's like if you're Stan, you get famous, right?
Hmm.
So who's this the DC version of Stan? You know, is it like did he get is it like Aldi's and Trader Joe's? Like did they become enemies at some point in life? Like what happened to where okay, they created an Ant-Man. I'm going to create an Atom Smasher and he's going to get big. Oh, Ant-Man gets big. Like
I'm looking this up right now.
Like tell me who came first, the chicken or the fucking egg? Like
it's not really a forefront name that I typically hear about a lot when it comes to like who created most of that's one of the things that made Stan Lee so brilliant. Like this one dude wrote all these fucking shit.
To me, he created all of it and DC bit all of it. Like that's my thing.
No, don't get it twisted. No,
I don't. That's my point. That's why I'm asking you to.
DC came first with a lot of things. However,
I know Superman was first, right? Like Superman was
he got the whole thing popping, and I feel like there was some other comics before that, but like Superman was the first major comic book hero.
So that's why I'm asking. Like, is it like a Trader Joe's Aldi situation? Or
I don't think there was a split up, but I think anytime something's remotely popping, people will always try to come up with their variant version of it. Well, like, well, if you like, Batman, what about Man Bat? Like, and they'll try to run wild with it and have their own thing cooking. So, I mean, it's CVS and Walgreens,
that's what I'm saying. So like, but something came first. Like, I know Superman is like the original OG, right? Mm-hmm. Like as far as comic book shit, right?
And Batman. Yeah.
But when Superman first, Batman came way after Superman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was
with Superman back then when that Superman came, I'm talking what's his name that passed away? What's his name? The actor that first played Superman in the movie,
Christopher Reeve.
Yes, pre-Christopher. I'm talking like the dude.
Or you talking about the original
Superman? The original Superman. Reed? Like
the black and white one, the black and white Superman.
Like way before Reed. Black and white, way before it even became a black and white, there was Superman. So back then, was it DC or was it just Superman? Like, was there a DC Comics back then?
Yes,
there was.
Yes.
Okay, so was there a Marvel back then?
It was DC Action Comics. Marvel didn't become a company, I believe, to the 1960s.
So 60s, I think you're correct with the 60s.
So, the 60s. So Stan Lee bit Marvel?
No, he didn't bite Marvel. He just came up with his own characters. Like,
but they're all the same shit.
DC didn't have a Spider-Man.
DC has an Aquaman. DC has a fucking
DC has
Atom Smasher and Ant-Man are the same.
Yeah, those are DC's people. But Marvel's version of Aquaman is Namor. But Namor is not really a good guy. He's an anti-hero.
So all they did was change. Hold on. All they did was change like the good or bad.
There's a lot of McDowellsing going on.
I'm so confused as a person who doesn't know the history of the shit. That's why I'm asking you two, because I know you two know the history of that shit.
Yeah, so that's your homework, Bodega Podcast listeners.
Done.
And drop your comments in the chats, because I feel like there's a lot of debatable historical fact shit that was mentioned tonight in tonight's episode or today's episode, depending.
And we probably fucked up a lot of shit, but don't blame us.
I tried my best to Google the things that we needed to know in real time so we didn't fuck it up. But
I'm an Irishman and I don't Google shit. I just say what I say when I say it, and I say it.
Indeed.
Well, there you go.
Well, man.
Oh, and real quick. Got to shout out to our one sponsor we have, VK Studios. Big shout out to Billy Sin. Valley the King Studios. When you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, or beyond, if you need any studio or even podcasting, live streaming, or whatever, hit up Valley of the King Studios here in sunny Dallas and Billy Sin. There you go.
It doesn't matter what you need. If it's digital, he's got it.
He's got you.
The only sin that's good.
So I didn't mean to do that and take away the rest of our shine from the podcast, but let us know.
No, there was probably a person listening who is the Travi in all of us, who just didn't know.
I believe so.
And was trying to reach and grab and find the answers
to the
questions that they were looking for. And hopefully we provided at least some direction.
There you go. That's what we're trying to do.
And some directions,
And that's why I posed everything as a question.
We're not going to do your homework for you guys. You got to do some of it yourself. So, thank you for going on this ride with us as always. Keynote, if people want to follow you, where can they go?
At Keynote on air, KEYNOTE on air. That's on everything. And Trav, if they're trying to follow you, where they finding you at, Trav?
TRAVII 777 everywhere.
You post a lot of cat pictures.
But I don't care about that shit. Just go to Bodega Brovas at whatever, and that's where we're at.
Nice. And also Headcrack, HEADKRACK on everything. Check them out on the Morning Hustle and on your television on Dish Nation.
Sometimes in your backseat. That's right. Bodega Brothers Podcast. We love you all.
Love you.